Hey, good evening. Happy Friday. Welcome to the Speakeasy. I'm your barkeeper, Jeff Belanger, and I'm really glad you're here. I mean, really, because otherwise it's just talking into the void. So I want to tell you guys something. My online story tour is really beefing up. I am booking tons and tons of dates. And though it's not quite the same as being in person, you can attend via Zoom meeting, and I tell stories about ghosts and monsters and all kinds of strangeness. They take place on Zoom. If you go to my website, jeffbelanger.com, you can find links to everything that's going on, plus my podcasts and all that other stuff that I'm doing beyond just the Speakeasy. So, also, if you're watching now, please like and share and start watch parties. So I almost said potties because I'm in Massachusetts. A little bit came out. A little came out. Watch parties. That's what we call them. Start one and have your friends join us here in the Speakeasy. So, do you believe in witchcraft? That's what I would like to ask you tonight. Do you believe we can use our powers of intent and spirituality to affect the world around us, maybe even the people around us? Well, tonight we're going to get a little witchy, and I have a brew. So it's going to go just great. Anyway, please welcome to the Speakeasy for her very first time from Los Angeles, California, the Hollywood psychic, the good witch, Patti Negri. Hey!
Yay! Hey,
Yay!
Jeff.
Hi.
Hi. Yes, I believe in magic.
Do you believe in magic? Sounds like a song.
I believe in magic.
Don't sing anymore because we'll have to pay.
Yeah,
You got to pay royalties for that. So,
and you really don't want me to sing anyway. My mom always said you could do anything you want, except maybe sing.
Oh, she said you should sing tenor 12 miles away.
You
should sing solo. Solo, no one can hear you. I know all of them. Where's everybody from tonight? Post, say hi, tell us what you're drinking, where you're from. There's Ann. Hello, Ann. Hello to Jeff and Patty. She gave you an extra E.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I've been called worse. Longer.
I know, right? So, Patty, most important question of the whole night. What are you drinking?
I am drinking what I call my dragon juice. It is, wait, over here. Tito's vodka and soda. And not soda like regular soda. It's actually cola soda, which I know is probably not cool drinking a white liquor and dark, but it's good. It's caffeine free, so I don't over talk. But it's beautiful. My little dragon glass and vodka.
I love that.
And I have a backup in Tupperware.
So you're ready to reload. Oh, that's
I'm ready to reload just in case, because upstairs it would take me too long.
You've got Joe, who's in our Speakeasy all the time. He says, we hung out at Ivan's apartment after Ivan died. Anyway, so you've got Joe in Connecticut saying hi.
Joe in Connecticut. And so he must have been from LA, because if we hung, Ivan's apartment is in Hollywood. We're Hollywood, old acting school from eons ago.
Right. So Patty and I first met. Someone just mentioned Ghost Adventures already. We'll get to that. So Patty and I first met because I don't even remember the episode now. You've been on a bunch of them, but we were, do you remember the first one?
The first one I did was Haunted Hollywood.
Right.
Even though the guys on the Screaming Room the other day thought it was Haunted Hollywood, and they go, no, it was Black Dahlia. And I'm like, no, it's Haunted Hollywood.
No. So wait, I'm sorry. Before we get too far, Carl wants to know, and he's right. I forgot to say what I'm drinking tonight. So I did say brew. That's true. But I want to thank someone out there, Josh and Sarah, who actually, they're regular viewers. They mailed me this. It's called, let me do that. Sixth Sense Brewing from Ohio. And it is called the Vroom Vroom Bonita. And it is 6.8% alcohol. So
yay!
That's the beer to have when you're having more than 6, I guess.
That sounds like something like I should serve at like my séances. Sixth Sense.
Yeah, let's see. I haven't tried it. Ready? Here we go.
Okay, here we go.
Ooh, that is an IPA. There's a lot of hops going on.
I don't even know what I'm not a beer girl, and all these fancy beers, I don't even know what IPA stands for.
India Pale Ale. So it's got a lot of hops, a lot of all that. I know for me, since this whole quarantine thing went down, I've been drinking more than average. I used to be like a weekend kind of guy, maybe, grill and beer.
Yeah.
And now it's like, hey, it's Monday night. I'm on the Speakeasy.
Yeah, I know.
How's your liver?
At the same exact. Everybody I talk to, and some people are coming up with some even funny memes and stuff about it. Yeah, because it used to be you be careful, or you're going out, or you're going back, and you don't want to drink and drive, and you want to be responsible. I'm not driving. I'm
No.
not going out. Nothing else to do. Cocktail with television. That's rare. I've never done that before. Why not?
It's so funny, right? Like you're just what gets me through today, you know? And you're like, yeah, Tuesday's a good day to have drinks and stuff.
Yeah.
But no, I get it. And so how have you been coping? I know you're a person who's out there, you're doing readings, you're doing galleries, and now you can't. Like we can't do anything. So how are you coping with it?
As well as I can. It's really been rough, and thank God for internet. It's weirdly, it's a love-hate with tech. I'm not a tech person. Just getting us right here. This is miraculous that we got this tuned in, but I'm having to learn because I really am an out girl. Besides working and doing everything else, my husband and I would spend maybe one evening there. I'd be out. I'd be doing an event or doing a mixer or doing an event or whatever. And one night a week, I better stay home with my husband. Now it's like, what the hell are we going to do 7 days a week, 7 nights a week? We might kill each other I do know somebody, I know a couple of people that their relationships are.
Did you hear that? An angel just got his wings.
Yeah, the angel. See, so we've been doing really well, but my husband's taken up cooking. He's the cook in the family, not me.
Okay.
And it's like, oh God, 3 meals a day, 3 yummy meals a day. We've really got to get active soon.
Now you know what the 19 is, right? In the COVID-19.
I do. It's the COVID-19. It's like
how many pounds you put on.
Plus the fact that you're not wearing real clothes very often. It's like, how long can I wear my sweats? Well, months.
When you take them off and they're leaning against the wall like on their own, you're like, oh.
Yeah, I should have washed those. Oh,
yeah.
I better have a cocktail.
But we were talking just before we went on about haircuts, and it was so just liberating. I've been tipping the woman that cuts my hair. Well, I tip her through Venmo anyway. So I've been tipping her every month, even though I couldn't get a haircut. I'm like, here's what I would have tipped you if I came in and got a haircut. Because she's out of work too. So, we all got to help. And then what was awesome is that as soon as they open, like she messages me and she's like, all right, 9 a.m. Thursday, you want, like, I'm like, yeah, I'm in, let's do this. And I felt lighter. It was an exorcism. It wasn't even a haircut.
Yeah, I was due to go get my natural color done, like the day we locked down. I'm like, no, it's been 2 months. I can't. So I went. My actually hair girl, she did me at her house, but it was like I was going into a hazmat thing, and she just did it like a week or two ago. I still was like, I think I'm almost brunette. But she like, I'm outside her house, and she like puts this big thing on me, puts these gloves, puts this mask, walk in the house, and I didn't move for like 3 hours. It's like,
I know,
but I'm blonde again.
It's nice. So you're not a natural blonde. Oh,
no,
so
actually, I'm a natural dishwater blonde, actually, because if no one really noticed, yes, it's beautiful. But you've got those nice waves that I'm envious of.
That's it's a wig. It's just
it's a good one. It's got the natural. Yeah.
So were you born in LA? Are you from there originally?
I am native born, born and raised Long Beach, LA area.
LBC,
and I'm LBC, born in a hospital in Long Beach, raised there. And I am one of those typical LA people who can't imagine living anywhere else because the weather, it's like it gets below 70 there. It gets humid there. It gets over 90 more than 2 days. Oh, I don't know. I love to travel, but it's kind of spoiling. And what's funny though is that there really are natives in LA, but living in Hollywood and proper, we're rare. All the natives like me are still in Long Beach or the suburban areas. But when you get into the city proper, everybody's from everywhere else. So it's like you live anywhere you want.
Right. So I'm curious because, like, okay, I'm here in New England. Salem's not far away. We got witchy people. I know how witches are made out here. How's a witch made in LA?
This witch was born. I remember being, again, my little suburban Long Beach area house. Number one, I was talking to dead people from 3 or 4. I just knew the imaginary friends weren't imaginary. They were the guy in the closet, the person under the bed, the little person, probably an alien, I don't know, that I could give real information. And my mom was like, yeah, grandma did that too. Yeah, that's normal. And I wasn't raised with any specific religion at all. My grandfather was this very famous atheist. So we didn't have.
How do you get famous being an atheist?
Oh, he was a psychoanalyst. Yeah, he had the Humanist Society of Friends. He hung out with Isaac Asimov, Carl Sagan,
Yeah.
Norman Lear, all these academics. He's very Freudian. The shocking white hair that he had, the bust done by the famous Steve Allen was his best friend. And I would like his birthday party would be all these people. I'd be a little kid going, "Oh, that Steve Allen is so boring. He just plays piano all the time." Had I been older, I would have been, "Wow, these people are amazing." But so the weirdness wasn't taught out of me.
So,
But
okay, hold on though. Just hold on. We'll get to all of it.
okay, go everywhere.
So atheism to me is fascinating because it is an ism. It's an ism, right? You got to work at it. You can't just wake up and coast into atheism. You've got to devote yourself to it. And I believe it is a belief system, is just like Catholicism or Buddhism or any other ism. Like, you have to work at it. And so you're a psychic medium. You talk to dead people, which basically means there is something, or you must believe, right? There's something after death.
Yeah. Yeah. And what see is funny now is my grandfather, he was a psychoanalyst. He came from Turkey. He came over to from Turkey. And he wrote books. He wrote books on religion and knocking religion. He wrote books on sex. He was way before all that. What was that in the 60s, the really big sex studiers that were so shocking? He was decades before that. He lived with 2 wives at the same time. But he wrote books on religion. He books on sex. He wrote books on, in a way, I'm talking in the 40s and 50s. Mm-hmm. But I read his books now as an adult, because sadly he passed when I was just hitting adulthood. I read his books now. I go, yeah, this is almost my same belief system, except that you use different words. If you take it down to energy, because I see energy, the ghosts I see, the spirits, the cords between us, it's literally like energy. So to me, your belief system is just like a template. You're going to put a Judeo-Catholic Christian one on top. You're going to put a Buddhist. You're going to put an atheist. You're going to put a New Age. You get all crystals and whatever on top. If you get down to the little through line, I read his books. I go, well, you're using science terms and academic terms, but we don't think so different, Grandpa.
Right. Yeah, no, and sometimes it does come down to labeling, and that's that with so many things, right? Like, oh my gosh, not even like psychic or paranormal, with the whole world, right? Labels. I know we need them. We got to put things into boxes, but at the same time, there's an inherent danger, because when you try to define something, you limit it. Right. Yeah. And we're limited by language anyway. Language has limits. You can't, we can only do so much with the written word, spoken word. Yeah. At some point, some things turn into feelings. And that, to me, people have said, like, can you prove to me ghosts exist? And I'm like, I can't. I wish I could. But I also can't prove to you that love exists. I can't prove to you that humor exists, or pain. Like, if I were to stick a needle in your arm, most people go, I bet that hurts. And they'd probably be right. But we might have different tolerances, different thresholds. They say that's a 2 out of 10. I might say it's a 9 out of 10. Like, we have no way to quantify these very human experiences, like love and sex and emotion and things like that. And so why not the paranormal, right? And so we use words like the paranormal is like, I get it. It's not every day for most of us, but those terms, they have their limits as well. And so,
to me, it's just a roadmap. It's a key. It's your key. Like, what kind of map are you using, or a template on your computer, or what kind of emoji system? What color do you want on your messenger service? To me, that's what it looks like. And if you look at it as such, and you could be open to somebody else's thing, and it's much order, or almost looking at it as it is. It's a roadmap to me.
Right.
But
so.
Well, I got started it was just born in me. I would find myself literally in my little suburban backyard picking rosemary, and knowing if I put rosemary in my mom's wallet, she would get more money. I just knew it. Knew it. I would make these weird ass.
Hey, I need some rosemary.
Everybody, we all need rosemary.
I need some rosemary.
Grow some at your house.
I actually do have some growing. I planted it just like last month. Okay, now what?
They're picking up now, right? Yeah, they're gonna pick up now, right?
Oh, good. I got to go put that in my wallet. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, well, put little things in your wallet. It's because everything has attributes. We know that everything. Okay. Everything has attributes. Medicine, aspirin's made from something.
Yeah, of course.
So the herbs and oils and sounds that witches work with.
Sugar.
Sugar.
Yeah, yeast.
Yeast, vodka. I don't know what's in it. Potatoes.
Sugar and yeast makes alcohol. That's what we're having.
Oh.
Someone, Adrian, wanted to know if you'll be doing readings tonight. Adrian, no, we're not asking her to work tonight. We're having drinks, right? Come on, we're having drinks. If
We're having
something
drink.
slips out,
I
it
don't
slips out.
drink and read at the same time.
No, of course not. So yes, everybody wants to know about this rosemary in the wallet. I think everybody's running out to their herb garden right now and saying, well, why not? You know what? I got to tell you, Patti, I got room in my wallet right now. I'm just saying, I got the room. I got the space.
And you will be amazed. You will be amazed. Every plant, there's a billion books out there. You could Google, what are the spiritual attributes of blankety blankety blank? There is a million different plants and herbs that are really good for prosperity. I'm a big believer in that mind, body, spirit thing. That it's very,
Sure.
It's psychology, basically. It's the whole 20,000 books are written about it, the whole spiritual section, the psychology section, the new age section, the religious section, because we're never going to surpass our belief system. We're setting that up. It's going to be easy. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I can't do it. Nope, you can't. That, and then we have to take action. We get that. And then the spirit. To me, witchcraft or magic is just the battery that's the spirit. Somebody else might do it by going to church or temple. Somebody else might do it new age by a vision board or affirmations. Some of us just want to dance around a bonfire and burn things.
Oh my gosh, you were at Burning Man too?
No, I haven't done that. It's hot. It's hot.
I haven't done it.
I want mild, mellow man.
I'm just too into showering. It's kind of my thing.
Totally, I know. Yeah, we went 6 days without a shower. It's like, really? And people who they go, oh, but you can rent a trailer, but then the trailer breaks because there's so much sand and dust, and then it's like, that doesn't sound fun. I want not Burning Man. Right. The concept behind Burning Man is great, but I want mild weather man.
So I want to separate, if we can, just here in the beginning, the psychic side and the witchy side. Okay. So let's start with the psychic side. Brian wants to know here, there he is. What's your preferred method of communicating with the dead? Do you use tools, or is it just through you?
I do use tools. I'm a tool girl. I'm an old school tool girl. I don't have all the fancy tech because, again, I'm not tech. I do use tarot. I use a deck that they haven't made in 20 years. I have to find it from crazy collectors. It's a witch's tarot, but to me, it's a jumping off point. I maybe read them by the book. If you got tarot for dummies or whatever, it's like the Queen of Pentacles made this. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But to me, it's a jumping off point. It's a little, I'm telling a story here. I lay out some cards. So I do use tarot a lot. For my regular sessions with people, I use dowsing rods, divining rods. I've been using them for years. And I mostly just talk to spirit. Even if I'm using a tool, those are just tools to do spirit. I'm a super Ouija board kid. I have been since I was a little kid. There we go.
There it is. Look at that. There's Zach.
There's Zach and Peggy the Doll.
Oh, look at that.
Jane.
And that is a Ouija board in the middle, right?
That is a Ouija board in the middle. Yes, indeed it is. That's one I had made for me. That's TV Happy one with all the permissions.
Right. So it doesn't say Ouija. Ouija, of course, is a trademark, registered trademark. The talking board, spirit board. These are the generic terms.
My best Ouija boards now. I have a friend. His name is Dan McBain's. He makes. Because some spirits don't like all the letters because they don't speak well. Ghosts don't write well or don't speak English. I do a lot of work all around the world, and here's these little ABC. He invented a Ouija board. So simple. All it is a chalkboard, and the planchette is chalk.
Oh, sure. Well, that's the original. Before there was the talking board, there was the pencil. The pencil through the planchette, and you wrote messages. So yeah, that's just really old school.
I have got the best information from that. The best information. I've had perfect Virgin Marys drawn. That's a sailing ship, and we're doing it in the dark with 6 people on their hands on a little planchette, and we move it away. My funniest one, and again, beautiful and sometimes so clear it was like an artist drew that, not 6 people in the dark going like this. Yeah. My funniest one, as I was working with an Associated Press reporter, very famed, Linda Deutsch, AP reporter, dear friend, and a White House correspondent had just, not that I'm getting political, but a White House correspondent had just passed away. And so we were talking to her, and my friend Linda, the AP reporter, she goes, "What's going on at the White House?" And our fingers started flying around. We moved them away. and the Ouija board had drawn a perfect rat. A perfect rat.
Maybe there's rats at the White House.
Maybe there's rats at the White House. Exactly.
Maybe there's rats. That could be.
And it was a ergonomically perfect, whatever the word is. It was like I couldn't have drawn that. A 6-year-old didn't draw that. It was like the ears were in the right place. The rat tail. It was amazing. So spirits love Ouija boards. So those are great. I will use any tool. I don't think Ouija boards should be sold in toy stores. I think they should have a completely different set of directions than they do.
Yeah, there's not much there.
Like, this is not
and there never has been, right? Like that. And by the way, I think that's part of its success is that it was never overly defined. The Kennard Novelty Company understood that. William Fuld understood that. Parker Brothers understood that. You know who does not understand that? Hasbro, who now owns it and is doing all they can to destroy something that's been around since 1892 as a name brand.
Are they
Ouija,
really? Right? Why? What are they doing?
So they don't understand what they have, right? They just acquired it through their acquisition of Parker Brothers. And some of the boards they've put out now that for the first time ever, right? It was only a few years ago, right after the movie came out, they really started pushing that like this is a tool to talk to spirits. Never in its history. They were just like, well, who's there, right? They left it very wide open, which I think is important because the people I know that use it, they say like, oh, I knew the message before it actually came out. And I'm like, well, that sort of makes sense because you're the conduit. It's going through you. You're the compass. That's just the needle, right? Yeah. But you are the compass. And so yeah, I get it. And I know they're polarizing. People say how dangerous they are. And I'm like, I don't know. Is it any worse than doing an EVP session or talking to a K2 meter or whatever else? It's either all dangerous.
Pendulums, exactly the same. They're all portals or doorways to talk to spirit.
Right.
You know, just be careful, just like with anybody. Who are you kind of letting in? You don't let anybody into your house open. Hey, come in, serial killers, mass murderers, come on in. You're kind
they
of
do that in LA. Patty, you've lived there, so you're ruined. So this is like New Englanders, we get accused of being cold. That's okay because we take a while to warm up. When I go to LA and you meet someone and like 2 minutes later, they're like, come sleep at my house. You should come over for Sunday dinner. And I'm like, you could be an axe murderer. And then the next words out of my mouth are, I could be an axe murderer. And you don't know. And they're just inviting us in. It's an LA thing. It's so crazy to us in New England. We just get scared and we run home. So yes, we do let everyone in, and that's why you let everybody in. You let everybody in. Okay, Carl in the UK wants to know. Explain your necklace. I can see the pentacle, but maybe he means the other one or the one above.
This has just got little stones in it. I could change the little crystals. Very crystally. I do like crystals. I like stones. I'm very elemental in my magic, and this has got my mama in it. She likes to go everywhere with me.
So you've got ashes.
Yeah, her ashes. And it's so funny. I had to super glue it because she leaks.
Oh my God.
She leaks. And so it's all this like white powder on me.
Okay. Like, Patty, this is going to be personal. You said you're married. Are you ever like getting your groove on and you're like, oh my God, my mom's here?
Now I will. Shit.
Oh, did I just ruin your necklace?
No, that is funny. No, I've never, because I think she leaves me alone. But that is so funny that I have not thought of that because
that's the first thing I thought of.
There you go. No, because I'm one of those people. I'm not a feng shui person because that's Eastern, but I'm a Western version of that. The first thing I will tell people, which is a feng shui thing, is like, do not have pictures of your parents or your children in your bedroom. Your bedroom is for sex and sleep and sex. But here I am wearing my mom around my neck for bouncer. I guess I just think she knows. My mom knows to stay away.
Judgment free. Whatever you're into.
I had a pretty cool mom. I'm getting ready to put a little bit of my dog in there, a little cat. It's going to be a party around my neck pretty soon.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you're going to have to report back.
Yeah. Again, they're not here. This is they're not here. They're in the ethers. They're everywhere. I don't believe you go 6 feet down, you're under there. I mean, most people don't believe that. You either believe in a heaven or reincarnation or innocent. They're not here, but bones are powerful.
Absolutely.
Ashes are super powerful in magic. I actually, when she leaked, I tasted some. It was, I guess that's kind of cannibalistic, eating your mom. I don't know, but you feel it. It's everything. And I think when like in those comedy movies, like I'm picturing Chevy Chase. I don't know if he's ever done it. Those old ones, like, oh, so-and-so, and you throw them in the ocean and it all blows back in your face. And I think that's kind of done on purpose by the spirits, by the universe, because there's something, it's an old tradition of eating the bones of your ancestors.
So speaking of mom around your neck, have you communicated? Do you feel like you're able to have this contact with her?
Finally. At first I didn't. I was like, I can talk to every dang person on the universe. I could talk to your mother and your mother and your dog and your cat, but why can't I talk to my mom? It was obviously me, not her. But then I was at a show. I was at the Hollywood Pantages seeing a great big musical. I don't even remember what it was. All of a sudden, mom is sitting next to me. I'm like, of course. My mom was a musical theater performer. She was a
Right.
singer. She was a dancer. She danced until she was almost 90. She didn't start aging until she stopped dancing. So never stop dancing.
No,
But
that's good advice.
it is really good advice.
Yeah, for sure.
So and all of a sudden she was with me, and it's been ever since. So I guess she was just waiting me to put on a show tune album or something.
Right. Boy, I think I just ruined Hatch's sex life too. I have my grandfather's ashes tattooed on my back. They were finely ground and mixed with the ink. Think about that, son. Next
there
time.
We go. You,
There's
grandpa, and whoever you're with.
Literally on your back. Oh,
But I think they know not to hang out. Again, I've been talking to ghosts forever. If somebody asked me once a day, do they see you shower? I'm like, once, but those are like little pervert ghosts. There's not too many of those. But as a rule, mom isn't going to go hang out in your bedroom. My mom never would have in life. She's not going to.
Sure.
You were told to stop dancing once. Hi, Brian. I've been told to not sing, not dance.
Yeah, right.
But I don't think they're really going to hang out. I think that not having photos of your children and your parents and your grandparents in your bedroom is for you going, oh yeah, that's not what I should be thinking about right now.
Yeah, no, of course. And now that I've ruined that, I'm sorry. I apologize. So I was reading your bio. So you grew up around theater, you grew up around all that stuff, acting, improv. And so I took some improv classes, and I've taken acting classes really to be a better public speaker, not because I want to be on the screen or stage doing that. But what I love about it, there was I had this acting teacher, and he talked about it's the Suzuki method, right? Where you feel your ancestors come up through the ground through you as you project this thing into the world. And I get that, right? I get that. And I'm not speaking like Shakespeare or anything. I just get that, like, you feel this connection when you're on, when you know, like, you're in front of an audience and you're on, like, you feel this thing that's bigger than you coming from somewhere.
Way bigger than you. You've opened that door. I think almost anybody should take an acting class, an improv class, to get in touch with who they are. It's allowing that possibility. It's, again, I'm very left brain, right brain, left reasoning, rational. Now we pair. That right is where the magic happens, the creativity happens, spirit happens, acting happens. And when you allow that to take over, I mean, there's a million different, I don't know Suzuki method as that time, but this method, the Meisner method, that's what it is, allowing that other thing to take over. And I think it's good for anybody to do it. Even if you take a 6-week class at your local junior college, to develop that, coming outside of yourself. It's like mask work in acting too. For years back, it's like, all of a sudden, the worst actor, the best actor, a beginner actor, you put on a mask, you're going to be a completely different person, because it's permission to come outside of yourself.
Right.
Acting 101.
I get it. And I think improv does that. Let's do improv right now. Someone post give us a setup, give us a scene, right? Give us a place, go make a comment. We'll put it on screen. We're going to improv. I haven't done improv in a long time, but
I love it. Me neither. I love it.
I mean, you just got to not disagree. Like, that's how awesome is that?
Yes. And never.
Yes. And so I'm just counting on someone probably like Marvin Anderson, who I know does stand-up comedy. Yes. And there he is. But give us a scene, someone. Oh, there's a good one. New Orleans cemetery, middle of the night. Ooh. Patti, remember that time we were in New Orleans? Yeah. And we had been drinking all night on Bourbon Street, and you're like, let's go to the cemetery. And we went into that St. Louis number 5. Remember that?
I remember that. Oh my gosh. And we had just been at Bloody Mary's shop, her little magic shop. And she said, don't go. She said, don't go. And we're like, oh no, we can go. She's like, no, don't go drinking. No, go. And we went. And the moment that you stepped through that first threshold, and the moment that you saw
that cloud of dust from the Magic Man, and then I thought, oh my God, this is going to be like some voodoo thing. But then I realized, no, it was just like that hot chili pepper, cayenne pepper sauce. And I started sneezing, and it got in my eyes, and I'm crying, and people think like I'm possessed. But no, it was just like this horrible thing. And you're trying to do an exorcism, and you're saying these prayers, and then
And then Anthony Kiedis from the Red Hot Chili Peppers showed up at they were shooting some kind of a music video there, and Bloody Mary told him that Jeff Belanger was there and that I was there, and they wanted to get some nice background actors for their show, and it was.
And we just danced wildly behind him, and that's how we made it into their video.
Yeah, and
scene.
not a spirit. Yeah, scene.
We
That
still
was
got
fun.
it.
That was fun.
That was my first improv in a long time. But anyway,
improv in a long time.
That's how improv works.
I fell in love with that's why I fell in love with reality stuff, though, because coming back from a theatrical background and a theater background and whatever background, but I stayed away with it because I ran a really corporate production company for a long time. I ran this where I was working for Mattel and Microsoft, and they couldn't know that I was talked to dead people or I danced around bonfires and cloaks, and they couldn't. So I had this very separate world. And
Right.
in 2008, when the big crash hit, when the big corporate crash hit, and corporate entertainment, which is what I did, became a dirty word. I remember I got a call from somebody who knew my ability with séances, and they go, "Oh God, Patti, we need you to do. Would you do a séance on this show on CMT? It's called Mobile Home Disaster." I'm like, "No," and I'm going, "Well, nobody's going to watch a show called Mobile Home Disaster on country music television." Sure, I'll do it. Work's gone downhill really fast.
Yeah.
And I went, and I go, this is the best. I get to be me, the real Patti, the doing magic Patti. I don't have to memorize anything. They follow me around with cameras. It's improv. I love this. You don't know what's going to happen. You go with the flow. I love this, but I'm not going to do it because I run a big international corporate production company.
Right.
But I remember literally the first time that after that aired on CMT, and I remember my corporate client that called up some big bank company. She goes, "I saw you on TV last night." And I'm like, "I am never going to work in this town again." She's like, "I didn't know you were into the paranormal. I love the paranormal and ghosts and this." And I go, "Yeah." So we had our best conversation we had ever had. It did not hurt the relationship with that particular banking company that we did motivational shows for.
Sure.
But then that world continued to crash, the corporate entertainment world, and reality continued to go like this. It's like, this is better.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
and I think one of the things I learned about myself from the improv classes, right, is that when you are an adult, you tend to stop playing, and play is so important to us, right? If you have a kid like I do, you sort of, anyway, rediscovered it when she's like a toddler, and like you're playing games again, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is wicked fun. I love coloring, and I love like doing Legos with my daughter and like going on swing sets. And so you sort of rediscover it. If you don't have that in your life, or a child in your life, or maybe a dog or a pet that you play with, but improv is like all about just like getting into your inner child and losing your inhibitions without alcohol for once, and right, and then just get into this like play space where you're free. And when you're free and you don't have those hangups, it sort of makes sense to me that you might connect to things that you're not going to connect to when you're all buttoned up and nope, I'm at work, I'm gotta just check into my job, and that's that. So I can see the connection.
Has to run thing. Yeah, no, it's amazing. So I think it's really great, especially improv again, because it's think fast or don't overthink and allow things to just happen.
Right.
Every now and again, you have to pretend the floor is lava.
That's right. That's the lava. So let's move to witchcraft, because that's really interesting to me. As a guy that studies folklore, I know like folk magic has been around forever, right? And one person's witch is another person's faith healer, is another person's shaman, is another person's priest, is another person's rabbi, on and on and on, right? And again, raised Catholic. And when I first started talking to witches in Salem, way back when I started like doing research on this, I was scared. The Catholic boy in me was like, oh my God, I'm going to go to hell for even talking to you. And I remember Sean Poirier was his name. He actually passed away, a Salem witch. And he had said, Catholic, huh? So the priest is in front and says, this is my body. And he splits the bread. And that's to be the literal body of a man who died 2,000 years ago. Then he holds up some red liquid and says, this is blood. And I say this blessing. And now this this unleavened bread becomes the body of something sacred, and you eat it and consume it and then commune with people around you. And he's like, I don't know, sounds pretty witchy to me. And I was just like, oh my God, you're totally right. Like, he's like, you call it Catholic, I call it witchcraft. And I was like,
Exactly.
and after that, I was like, yeah, you're okay. What's the difference? Burning sage, putting rosemary in your wallet.
Exactly. Potato, potato, tomato,
Yeah,
tomato. And
right.
and Catholics are the dang closest to witches. They use all the same frankincense, myrrh, all the
Yeah,
stuff that we use, that the body, the rich, they're the most ritualistic as compared to like Protestant Christianity or something else, or Judaism, which is more intellectual side of things. It's more about the story and the meaning, not that there's a reality to it. So yeah, Catholics are the dang closest. I love speaking Bishop Brian. We know both know Bishop Brian, who's a
yep.
Catholic priest who knows as much about the occult as I do. And we get into these great discussions. He really hates it when somebody says, "Oh yeah, you Christians, you stole all our pagan holidays." He hates it. But it's,
It's
well, yeah,
true.
Easter. What does Easter have to do with Easter bunnies and eggs? That's the pagan
Fertility.
part. It's
Yeah.
fertility. That's the pagan.
The goddess
Christmas,
Esther, sure.
Jesus didn't have pine trees, and no, he would have had palm trees, not pine trees. It's the
Yeah.
pagan. But it's
Yeah.
again, if you take it down to the through line of the meaning behind things, it doesn't even matter, was this a true thing or not a true thing? Is this really the body? Was Christ of this? I think Christianity got a little messed up making it about the literal and not about the meaning.
Right, right. Yeah, when you lose that, and by the way, incorporating those pagan symbologies, like the pine tree, which comes from the Nordic region, the Yule festival and all that other stuff. I get it, and there's nothing wrong with taking in symbols that work, right? That's what, and in fact, to me, that's what witchcraft is, right? You pull the pieces of what you make it work. Now,
Yeah.
someone's asking here, Geister, I love the name. The most challenging spell you've ever done. Let me rephrase that to just talk us through a spell. Talk us
Okay,
through,
talk me through a spell.
like,
Okay,
we all need jobs and money right now. How about
okay.
like some sort of prosperity spell?
Okay, a prosperity spell, some kind of a prosperity spell. I have a really good money spell, and I'll even talk you through that one.
Okay.
Again, I believe the mind, body, spirit, so you have to create it. But let's now go to spell working. Spell working is three parts. It's the creation, the doing, and the dispatch. The dispatch is the energy. So the first part of it, you could get as simple or complex as you want. Like, ooh, I need it on a Saturday because that's Saturn's day, or I need it in this. You can get astrological or not, or you could just do your basic, which I more follow moon cycles. The waxing moon, you do magic that adds. The full moon, you could do any magic. The waning moon, you do magic that takes away. You start diets and you wane moon. You want money spell, you start and you wax moon. So that's the preparation of a spell. Maybe I'm an elemental, mostly elemental. I mix up everything. I will steal from every dang religion, and I do that.
Yeah.
I like that Buddhist, I like that Christian, but I'm very elemental in my work. So air, fire, and water and earth, the spirits, like Native Americans, like Peruvians, like elemental witches. So it's like, okay, if the earth is our grounding, our sense of self. We get that. The fire is the passion, creativity, love, sex, God. We get that. Our water is our emotions, the flow of everything. That's the 60% of our body, the 70% of we need the water. The air element, that's our thought pattern. That's our thinking brain. That is our organization. So if you're looking at like you're baking a pie, okay, I want to take things from each of those aspects I want a prosperity spell or a money spell. So the first part is creating it. Maybe I want to do a candle. What is a lot of people will say green candle means money or gold candle means money. And if green or gold means money to you, it does. But if purple striped candle means money to you, use the purple striped. So maybe you're going to do that. Maybe you want to carve sigils or symbols or whatever you choose to do. So again, the creation of it, I'm going to do it on a full moon. I'm going to do it on a whatever, or a new moon, waxing up. So that's the create. And then the doing of the spell is that action. That's the body part of the
I hear the angel getting her wings
from
again.
heaven.
Sorry.
The angels
Go,
getting it. Don't know
go,
how
go.
to turn that off.
Oh,
Somebody
it doesn't
will
matter.
answer. They will. Okay. So that's the mind part. The body part is that I am doing the spell. I am carving that candle. I am burning that dollar, which I'll get into that in a second. And the dispatch, that's the spirit or the magic that sends it off. So my money spell, which I'll give everybody, and I have been doing it since the 80s, and every time it has been like a windfall of whatever. And everybody I know who has done it has got it. It's like sometimes it's like, whatever I need money for a computer, but then the next day somebody gives them a computer.
Right.
So my correct preparation, my thing, I like the money spill because money, we have such a weird thoughts about money. Because we make it into something it's not. It's energy. It's a little piece of paper, and it's an energy. It's an exchange, just like anything else. So get a dollar bill, and I think this is a felony, but just do it anyway. If you don't,
Yeah.
get a dollar bill. Set up your sacred space, whatever that means to you. Light a candle, light some incense, burn some herbs. If you have things in the way of your money, I would say burn that up first. Write everything down that's in the way of you getting money, like, I had poor parents. I lived in a bad place. I didn't go to college. Whatever you think is in your way, look at that. Either do a great big cross or a circle slash or burn it up. Literally, just get it out. And then you're going to feel more space in your body. Literally, you're going to feel more space. And then get that dollar bill out. And I want you to write with passion everything that you want on that dollar bill. Paid off college loans, this much money in a new car, money for this, money for that, whatever you're saying in that monetary material world, passionately write it. If you're just writing like going, yeah, I'd sure like a new car, you're not going to get it. If you want, I see that beautiful new car, write on it with passion and with passion. Now is when I would get a little fancier. I'd put some special oils I made on it, maybe a little rosemary dripped in. I would use dragon's blood. I would use mugwort to enhance. I would use all sorts of things, but you don't necessarily have to. So then you're looking at this beautiful dollar bill. I would waft, if you have incense, waft it through the incense over the thing. And then the last time over the flame, you're going to light that dollar bill on fire. If you have the full moon, go outside under that full moon. If you could see it, if you can't see it, that's okay too. And that's when the dispatch, I want you to come up with, again, it's the energy build, every cell in your body. I want you to feel it. Either doing, I'm big on ma chants because it moves, ma, and then you send it up to the universe the whole time it's burning. Your whole body will practically orgasm in a way you've never done before. Or you might do a chant like, money here, money now, money it is mine. Money here, money now, money it is mine. It's burning. Money here, money now, money it is mine. And then you send it up. And it's done.
I've heard that song, right? I was in the club, right? It's like, make money, money, make money, money, money. That's what we're doing.
That's what we're doing. And again, you've just done everything. You've psychologically set what you want, what you need, what you do. You're believing. You have to have the faith getting into it. You've taken the action. You've written it down. Then you've burned it up. The dispatch is and again, a lot of culture, shamanistic, you're going to do it with drumming. You could do it with hallucinogenic tribe. You could do it with singing, songs, chanting. But when you get that, you get it. And Raylene, I get so many Canadians going, I can't burn a loony.
It's a coin. It's a coin. You got to do a $5.
You got to do a $5. You got to do a $5. And and people going, but I don't have enough money. I go, well, you can use play money, draw money, use Monopoly money. But the bigger stake you have, if you have a real dollar bill or a $5, that much more you put into it. It's almost like, I don't want to go sacrifice, but it is. We are burning this money up to the money gods, and it works.
Yeah. Oh, so you know what? We don't have time for like a whole other spell, but oops, no, that wasn't the one. This one. So yeah, I should have sort of thought maybe health is on people's mind right now, protection, right? Like going out into the world, and it's so weird, right? So everybody's. I went to Home Depot today because I've got a lot of house projects going on, and everybody's got masks, and I don't know if other people do this. I'm guilty of it. I freely admit it. When I'm outside and I'm wearing my sunglasses, I'm a gawker. Like I don't, you won't know it because I'm not that creepy, but I look at everybody. I look them up and down because I'm hiding behind my sunglasses. Yeah. I've noticed when I'm wearing my face mask, as I'm required to do, and walking through the store, I'm gawking and looking people up and down, and then I forget, oh my God, they can see my eyes. It's just the mouth cover. But I feel like there's this shield, this thing that I'm hidden behind, and I know it's there to protect me. It's there to protect them. However, it's almost like I feel like I'm moving through the world in a bubble because of this piece of fabric that's over my mouth. And
it's disconnected, but opposite. It's disconnecting versus that acting mask. I am a this, I am a that. It's opposite of that. It is. And the masks drive me crazy because I smile at people. You could see the squint of the eye, but that's it. It's like, well, everybody must be grumpy today, but they're not. You just can't see it. They need see-through masks.
A real smile's with the eyes anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the difference, like between the
So
And
health, yeah, health is to me, um, is again, that's what do we have? We have health, we have our health, we have our life.
yeah,
And I totally use magic for that. It's in my little book, Old World Magic for the Modern World. But I
hold
was,
it up again. That was too fast. Hold
ah,
it steady. There it is. Old World Magic. So you can you can find it on Amazon. I saw
yeah.
it there, but you can also look through Patty's website. Someone asked earlier, do you do readings? You can book readings through your site, right?
And book readings through my site. Call
Yep.
me up through my site, however you want. And right now we're doing them just like this, which I've always done anyway. But local, I'm not even doing local quite yet.
Sure.
But yeah, we just do it through video. But health, I was part of everything that made me who I am and how I am. As I was diagnosed with a weird health thing when I was 15. My mom had taken a drug that the doctors gave her called diethylstilbestrol that they gave in the 50s and 60s to pregnant women, thinking it prevented miscarriages, but it was a carcinogen and it caused everybody. So I'm out here telling this. At 15, instead of going through all the regular puberty, I started having like hot flashes. I was like 15 on the outside, 50 having hot flashes on the inside. My first surgery, they went and there's something wrong with her. I was 9 on the inside. So I had all these weird health problems. So by the time you never saw them, they looked whatever, but I was pretty screwed up. By the time I was 30, I was told I had, because of these hormonal problems, which caused all this stuff, I had a tumor in my head, a pituitary. I would probably get the cancer, the cervical vaginal cancer, if I didn't get the breast cancer that goes with it.
Right.
And so I was a victim between 15 and 30, a victim of big pharma, a victim of I can't have children. I can't do this. I can't do that. And at 30, I had this beautiful doctor. Finally, she goes, wow, you have this. The prognosis basically was like, if you make it to 50, with it not getting one of the cancers first or the brain tumor in your head causing you blindness, you'll be in a wheelchair because you have fractures in your back. And I just went, no, I'm not. This future does not look for me. I'm a witch. I believe in magic. I see magic every day. Every weird symptom, especially anybody with autoimmune systems, anybody with fibromyalgia, or they think they have fibromyalgia, or all those weird immunes and rashes and autoimmune diseases that are coming up from the environment, because DES was the first environmental estrogen, and now we have it just in our land. Those are so easy to cure. I don't want to say just easy like that, but easy like that. Every symptom I had had for 15 years totally went away. All the weird rashes, and you have to carry cortisone dose packs in case you swell up, and everything went away. So at 50, instead, and I haven't been sick since then. And so at 50, instead of being dead or in a wheelchair like the medical thing, that's when I did that ridiculous show, Wipeout, the world's biggest obstacle course. It's big, kind of screw you. We are these amazing beings. So
Sure.
yeah, we don't have to struggle so hard. We don't have the illness. Yes, there is. We can't cure everything. We can't do, but what we do with what we have is amazing. And there's so much we can get rid of that we don't have with health wise. I see miracles almost every day. I do not call myself a healer in that way at all, because there's a lot of stuff to it, and our medical intuitive, but I see somebody just takes charge of our life. We are these powerful beings. And even I think we talked the other day, we give away our power so easily. We give away our power to other people. We give away our power to belief systems. We give away our power to fear all the time, to health diagnosis all the time, and just kind of go, dang it, no.
I couldn't agree more. And I do think that sometimes we just accept, like when our doctor says, oh, you've got this, you take these pills and you're going to be in for a year of pain, all that stuff. And however we can empower ourselves is a good thing. And I know witchcraft, a big part of that is just, it's this self-empowering, it's a very personally tailored belief system, right? Like you can be in a coven, but each of you is practicing your own craft, right? Like it's, even in a group, like it's still so individual. And
it's a belief system, not do this because somebody else told you to do that. It's because what are you feeling from inside? You can get the guidelines from 100,000 different books, or there's, ceremonial witches, there's chaos witches, there's this kind of witches, there's Wicca witch. See,
I think it's awesome. I
about
love that.
witches. But number one, it's like we take responsibility. We're not victims. No one's going to forgive us. You have to have integrity. You have to have virtue. You have to have ethics. If you don't have a moral code, and I'm not talking morality, not a man-made version of what moral code. If you don't do that, don't go into witchcraft. You will get into trouble. If you don't know what kind of spell not to do on somebody or to do a spell on somebody else, don't do it. You will get yourself into trouble. But if you do have integrity, virtue, ethics, know right from wrong, you can conquer the world.
Absolutely. Speaking of conquering the world, I wanted to talk a little about Ghost Adventures because people want to know. Little show that you've been on a few times, and I've worked for 12 years. My God,
wow, that's amazing,
crazy. So you've been on a bunch of episodes now, and such a help. Like I know whenever we're on the West Coast, you're like one of the first people we call. It's either me or Brittany, and we're just like, Patti, like, what's going on? And
hey.
and you've just been such a help and really appreciated. So people had asked earlier too about the doll.
Yes. Okay, Peggy. It was so funny. Yesterday, somebody, I guess because the new episode was on last night, the lockdown, the quarantine episode, somebody said, Peggy looks like Patti. I'm like, oh, good God. Okay, maybe. But yeah, that's what I did send you these pictures because I got one of my best ghosty pictures. Peggy is the second I got, because again, you never know what you're getting in for. You know that. You just show up here. Okay, they're not going to tell you anything. Zach wants it real. It's like, I don't get a hint. I'm always really afraid. It's like, what if I just sit there and get crickets? What if I get nothing? But everything is so charged that you don't. It's like, okay, murder over here. But the second they flew me in for the Peggy the Doll, you know, they put you up at a hotel, not a haunted hotel, a very modern, very nice hotel.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. My phone blows up.
Yeah.
My tablet blows up. And my TV's turning on. So I was like, where am I going? This is a museum before it was even an official museum, way before.
Yeah.
What's going on? I take the shower. The shower turns itself on. I go, this is going to be weird getting there. And then again, the next morning, they pick you up and you go to the museum. That's the time Zach was attacked by flies, I think. But this little doll, this cute little blonde Doris Day looking or Patti looking doll was dang heavy duty. Wow. And Katrine, that girl right there, she's the girl who had given like a heart attack right there. And so we did the seance. That was my very first doll seance. I have my own haunted doll now, Belle. She's beautiful. I'm not as mean as Peggy. When I go to the museum now, Peggy literally curses at me because every time I'd been there, it had been working or doing one of the Halloween specials or whatever. It was after all of that I got to go be a tourist, which I loved. And I walked into the Peggy room and all of a sudden cursing. Hi, Peggy. And I'm like, you look so pretty. How have you been? Cursing. Ah, it was pretty funny. But yeah, that doll she's a wild one.
So what do you think's attached to it? I mean, it's a doll. It's whatever, fabric and cotton, but what's part of it?
She's got some dark energy, dark entity. I don't think it's a human entity. I don't think like my doll Belle. I haven't looked enough into Peggy, but my doll Belle had a really dark, never human entity in it. When I got her, a girl in Belgium sent her to me because she'd made her hair fall out and made her sick for 3 years. So here, send it to Patti. Patti will like the doll. What's weird about drinks?
Drinks, wet, swears.
Yes.
I love that.
That is good. She drinks. And I'm like, Peggy. But my doll had some really dark, not human. I don't use demonic as heavy as many people because I think demons get way too much credit. I think 90% of what people think are demons are just cranky ass ghosts. But my Belle had something dark. We got rid of the dark, and then a nice little ghost spirit came out. So my little Belle. So Peggy still has something dark in her. I don't know.
And so the other thing too is that like Zaks Museum, right? Like he is seeking out the darkest, most diabolical stuff, and then bringing it near other dark, diabolical things. And I mean, you got to wonder if you're like supercharging that place up, you know?
Yeah. When he, because twice now he's done the Patti Lady Snake thing, the good witch, bad witch thing, which is, we didn't even know she was there. The first time I was there, that blindfold, and I didn't know anybody was there when Bloody Mary was over here and Father Sebastian was over there. And I'm just locked in a gypsy wagon telling me what's happening. And then he takes me into this little room that this little unassuming little English lady, another middle-aged lady like me, like who wants to kill me? I'm who the fuck? And but I honestly didn't know that was Ed Gein's cauldron until I saw it on TV. They don't tell you anything. It's like, no wonder she wanted to kill me. She was conjuring the spirit of Ed Gein, whatever she is or can do. Of course she's being influenced by that. So the last Halloween special after that, the 4-hour live Crazy House, again, he will give her like a carte blanche, going, bring in anything, because he wants to dance with the devil. Zach, I think, wants to go, I want to go up against that big monster. But she was bringing in chaos. So when I walked in there, I didn't know she was there. I knew everybody else was there. I love the hanging out. We're hanging out with Josh Gates, who I totally fangirl over. With Chris Fleming was there, and Michael and Marty was there, and Joshua was there, and Justin was there. I'm like, how did I get here? But this is so fun as we're hanging out. But then I walk in, and there's these black oozy things in the museum that I had never seen before. Chris Fleming saw the exact things. Because sometimes you're not going to get the cool big monster like right over here. You're going to just get weird shit.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me for saying that.
No, I mean, it's a speakeasy. We don't even card people. There's probably folks drinking underage in here. I want you to tell me, we're almost near the end here, but there was a photo you sent, a ghostly photo bomb. Yes. Set this up before I show it.
So we were talking about Peggy. Thank you. We were talking about Peggy. Yeah. And so we did the seance. We did all that. We worked with Katrine. Afterwards, lights are on, fluorescent lights were on, everything. It wasn't, nobody's filming. And I felt something in that same seance room. I peeked my head and I peeked my cell phone and I just went click. And that was one of my best little ghosty pictures that I ever saw. Right there. Look at that, was Katrine's chair. They already moved where Jay's chair was. They already moved where the little doll where she was. Like, but look at that nice little big fog. And I saw it, I felt it, and it came right on the camera. And this was at least 10 minutes after everybody had cleared the room. That was my best ghost pictures. That and my ghost photobomb.
All right, so you sent me one other ghost photobomb. Set up that one for me.
Okay, I was at the Hollywood Bowl. I live like 5-minute walk from the Hollywood Bowl. I live in the Hollywood Hills, and so one of the perks that they give you, because we have a lot of traffic, they give you free tickets to the bowl all season long for anybody who lives in my neighborhood. So I was with my best friend Kevin. And it was Lady Antebellum, which is kind of a country type rock. Lady Antebellum. And we're like, oh, let's take a selfie. And it was like a little click, click, click. And I felt a little thing, but not really. We're at a concert. I'm not ghost hunting. I don't have an EMF meter. I didn't bring my down. We're rocking to the music. And then not in the first picture, not in the third picture. Number 2, we had a photobomb from like a cowboy ghost. Look at that. Look at the energy coming in. And if you have any way to explain that, or you see the energy come in, like that little thing above Kevin's head is wild, but is not that the best little cowboy hatted ghost you've ever seen?
That is pretty wild, and especially when you said you took a several, right?
Yeah, I should have sent you the one before and the one after. And we were sitting. There was an aisle behind us. There was no people sitting behind us. It was an empty aisle because it was during the concert and nobody was talking. So that's my favorite photobomb. Yeah,
we'll show it again. Yeah, you can see the stairs back there. So that's obviously an aisle.
There's no people.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Patti, my gosh, we're in the last minute here. What else do you have going on now that things are starting to open in LA? But I know you're doing readings on your website. You've got your book for sale. You're doing other stuff. You've got your podcast. I was a guest, but it won't be for months.
Yes, I know. We are way ahead of ourselves. The Witching Hour. My Witching Hour podcast is my passion thing now. I just really love it because I get to bring people like you on it. I think my live stuff just starts with, Virginia City Paracon. Early August is the first one. That's been everything canceled. I had a thing in New York canceled. I had a thing in Dallas canceled. So that comes in August. I'm doing something in Dallas, Texas with Miracles of Joy in August. Other than that, I'm sitting home drinking cocktails with everybody else.
Cheers.
Cheers.
This is me through the beer glass. Yeah, no, I get it. But I also think that it's a time for creativity. It's a time for self-reflection. It's a time to improve ourselves, improve our relationships, improve whatever we can improve our country. right?
Yeah.
I think we're seeing some of that right now. I think we're seeing some people trying to make improvements. Maybe you don't know what to do, but the fact that you want to do something is a good start. You know,
Yeah, I
it's
think
a
so. And I think this is like the tarot card in tarot. I mean, the tower card in tarot. It's like the phoenix rising from the ashes. We just kind of had to do this to restart. And I seriously believe it's going to be better, wiser, smarter, more awake, more aware. You know, a high price. Yes, we're slow learners and we're stubborn race. A race of humans. I don't mean race like in white people or
nope.
black people
I
or
get it.
purple people.
Species.
Humanity.
Species, yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, you're right. You're right. And I'm glad we're doing these things. I'm glad we all got to hang out tonight. We had a few drinks. People drank some booze, people drank some juice, whatever you were into. And thank you, Patti, for joining us tonight. Thank all of you out there who are spreading the word and taking part in this. Really appreciate the community that's kind of coming up around this. We're all stuck, but we're stuck together.
It's
That's
great.
that's kind of cool. All right, Patti, thank you. Be well, stay well. And to everyone else out there, please take it easy.